Alrighty, welcome back. Here's, I guess, episode 2 of playing on Flint Hills. The previous episode, we were kind of slowed down by synchronizing people on the map, but hopefully we don't have that issue this time. Finishing the farm tour, we'll kind of pick up where we left off. So if you haven't watched the first video, probably go back to that one. Otherwise, might be a little lost as to what we're doing here, but um, what we've got here, so yep, there's our 8RT 410 with side tanks on the DB40, or I mean DB40, DB90. Yeah. Here's our seed tender with some liquid fert on the back, so that's what we use for filling it and keeping up. We've got our seed hawk here for doing the small grains, the wheat and canola, and helping us cover soybean ground, pulled by our 9620 RX, tractor number 22. Over here, have our flatbed for hauling bales, auto load, because we're not going to stack that that long. Got a little Can-Am for having some fun. We've got just one corn header right now, but we'll probably be getting a second one since we're planting field 9 on here. Spreader box, sprayer, baler. We've got a 8430 here for pulling the topper for when we're doing sugar beets. We've got our a Case 9230 and then a John Deere S780. So we've got one of each color representing. And 2 end dumps. And then that truck we use for pulling the flatbed fifth wheel or anything extra we need. We also have another trailer out here for it. So, and you can see popping up in the chat, there's a couple other guys on here too as well. So as I was saying last episode, we've got 7 farms on here. So people hopping on and off. We've got 2 anhydrous bars here with tanks. Also got Straw Master, mainly for working in the fertilizer or lime after we get that work done. Here's our topper, not the greatest thing, but it does the job. We do have our sugar beet lifter here for getting that work done. Have our chisel plow for doing the plowing we need done. Right now we're kind of, in my mind, cheating a little bit using this for doing the corn ground, but I am planning on eventually getting a ripper to actually getting a 2730 here for actually ripping it like we would in our area anyways for real life. So have a grain cart here, 2 MacDons, and then here's our fertilizer tender for when we're spraying fertilizer on the fields to get to the 3rd stage. Last episode we only made it around once, so once again it'll probably be one of those episodes where we're not going to get too far, and I'm just kind of giving you guys an introduction to what we're doing on here. So there'll be more activity when it comes to harvest time, but like I was saying before, just going to kind of give you overview of what we're doing. Oh, come on, get into something over there. There we go. So this is Wipeout's farm up here. He works for me. Here's his trucks because he's got some of his own equipment on here, even though he's working for me. And then here's his 2 hopper bottoms, his grain train setup he's got. So that's what we've got going on. So we are going to continue planting this field for now, and then that'll probably be it for planting. Maybe might do an episode when we do the seed hawk for doing the soybeans later today, but you won't see it for probably another day or 2 after these videos. So But like I was saying, yeah, I'll give you a little bit of everything. I'm not going to record everything. This is going to be, I'm trying to keep 30-minute videos, and if I was going to record planting this whole entire thing, I mean, that's going to be quite a few um, hours of recording, and I don't think you're going to want to sit through that many episodes of of just planting and driving around a field. So, but we getting this corn planted. Um, right now, we'll just spray it. Eventually, it'd be nice to get a side dresser for doing side dressing. Maybe not on this field, but on our smaller fields when we're doing corn, as we'll rotate corn out of here. They must be talking about, we had a couple server issues yesterday with just being a little jumpy. But I was reading we weren't the only ones having issues, so it wasn't just our server thing. Dip that down in a little bit. And we'll square this up so we are good to go. And that little pause there, that's an autosave, so shouldn't have to deal with another one of those during this episode. But like I've been saying before, any comments and anything you anything you guys have to say or suggestions, let me know. Um, just decided to record this while I'm doing it, having some fun. So something to do, gives people something to watch. If you don't like it, let me know how to improve. If you do, let me know so I can keep going. But like I was saying, is this will mainly be updates. These episodes of what we're doing on Flint Hills and this server. Um, I also have a farm on our Medicine Creek server, so I may start doing episodes off of that server as well. We'll see how it goes, because with this, like you saw in the last episode, with the syncs unexpectedly from other people joining, things like that, with the chat going crazy this episode, we'll kind of see how that stuff plays out, and see if it's even worth doing these, because I will start a Let's Play on a save game at some point here, single player. But for now, just kind of doing something to get something out there to start. So for now, we're just gonna do the wonderful up and down the field. I topped off before I started this episode, just so that way we didn't have to sit around waiting for it to fill up. But should be good to go for at least one more time around the field and one more episode with how long it took last time. But kind of a recap. So we're farming all the red fields here and renting field 2 this season. So um, maybe eventually get this field 12, but don't think I'll go any further than that. Was thinking about 19 here and doing some cows. Don't know, maybe. Try not to get too big. Give a chance for some of these other farms to expand more. Jonesy has the yellow farm down here, and him and I have been playing on these servers longer, so we have a bit more cash built up. So we're trying not to buy too much of the land on here and give other people chances to expand a little bit. So. And speaking of the cow farm, there it is. So was thinking of doing it and just having a you know, it holds 200 cows, so was thinking of doing it and just having 200 dairy cows, but with how many acres for grain we're running, especially with doing the sugar beets, I'm kind of thinking of not doing it now, especially with being on other servers. If this was our only server and only map, then probably would have the time, but um, our group has 4 servers, and I have cows on Alberta, um, a grain farm on Medicine Creek, and we've got this one as well. Um, and then we also have, trying to think, Farmersburg. There we go. I was having a mind blank for a second there. Farmersburg, I'm not on that map, but those are the maps we have for our servers. So, we will get this accomplished. But we'll get this cornfield done. And like I said the last time, it's going to be fun trying to get it harvested, but we'll see how long it takes. And I like doing 2 passes on the end. I know some people only do 1. I like doing 2, giving myself plenty of room for turning around, especially since there's a fence with a collision there. If there wasn't, maybe I'd only do 1. They must be talking about being short of hay and grass. And one thing I'm gonna do, why don't we, so we speed up this a little bit, instead of going all the way around another time, I'm just gonna stop here. So I think about here we should be close. There we go. We're just gonna go up and down because for now, finish this episode out. Probably just here to the road rather than just boringly going, of course, boringly up and down the field or boringly around the entire field. Same difference, I guess, but makes it easier for me to think of nonsense to talk about if I'm letting the GPS do the work instead of having to concentrate on turning and overlapping. So. But yeah, with our servers, I'll have our Discord link in the description of the video in case you're interested in joining. Um, we're a group of people like playing, so we're always open to people coming in and getting to know them to see if they're a good fit for what we do or not. And kind of a good group of guys to play with, so. And servers run 24/7, so they're always running. And if you watch the last episode, it's a lot of repeat, but just putting that stuff out there. So running out of stuff to talk about, basically. But we're sitting day 4, mid-spring. Should have been planting this stuff yesterday, but just didn't have time, so decided to hop on today this morning to finish it off, get it done. And that way we can sit back after we finish. Just got the corn and soybeans left to put in. So this field 9 is going to take the longest. And then 5 and 13 with the seed hawk should not take very long at all. So get these done. Then we just have to worry about keeping stuff fertilized and getting the herbicide sprayed. And then after that, it'll be wait until harvest time. And one of the reasons we do wheat as well too is the geo on this map. The wheat you get to harvest a couple days earlier gives us a head start, so we can get one field off at least. Sugar beets are the one as soon as they're ready to go. It's nice to be able to start on them. I don't know if we'll be able to that first day. Last year we had to wait till the third day. But hopefully on some of these crops we at least get, like the canola, should be up out of the ground. Hopefully we can get a good start on them. And I did forget to check that. Growth-wise, nope, they haven't germinated yet, but they should today. So tomorrow we should have more germination, more green, that we can start worrying about fertilizer on. So, but for now, we gotta finish planting first. Can't get too far ahead of ourselves. And look at that guess. Am I gonna work this out to just ending up right here? Isn't it nice when stuff like that happens? See, for me, I've had a couple things bug me about this episode, but this right here, being able to do this, that'll make me happy. And it's one of those things when you're making the video, little things are bugging me, but then for you watching, they might not be too bad. So hopefully it ends up being a decent content for you to watch. And look at that. Perfect. And down here, get turned around and start heading back to the other end. So, like I was saying, a bunch of back and forth this episode. And before the next one, I will finish this field and then we will move on to the soybeans. So more than likely be finishing planting this field today, and then later on I'll start the soybeans. So I'll probably do one more episode of planting soybeans with the seed hawk of planting, and then that's it for planting episodes. So might do one of fertilizing or covering the ground with the sprayer, might not, but we'll see. And then also I've got actually to head over to Medicine Creek and do that today as well. I've got some fields over there that need another stage of fertilizer, so maybe the fertilizer video will come from the Medicine Creek server instead of on here. Mix it up, give some variety, something different to look at. So yeah, I like the staggering, the stuttering, from being multiplayer, especially with me dealing with a winter storm right now and zero visibility and kind of hurting my internet quality. I do have that stuttering, a little bit of lagging, but at the same time playing with other people online instead of single player kind of makes it worth it, the minor inconveniences of it. Especially having a field this size when it comes time to harvest. It sure is nice having a large group of guys, or decent sized group of guys I should say, where we can actually get enough help for covering the ground at a decent amount of time instead of trying to do the whole thing myself or having to use a hired worker. So it has its pluses and minuses, so it's just whether it's worth it for you or not. And then also, I've mentioned it, is yeah, I'll probably start a Let's Play on a single player save game, just for maybe having a nice flow to that one, better flow. Maybe kind of do it like I did my Midwest Horizon series, where kind of try to copy what we do in real life for equipment and stuff like that as close to I can, because obviously everything we use in real life is not in the game as far as equipment, so not everything is available, but getting as close to it as we can and covering the ground. Unless anybody has suggestions or a better idea, but that's what I was thinking, and just need to figure out map too for single player, probably a 1x map if I'm just going to be doing a single player save game for that, but there are some 4x's out there, I guess, with smaller fields or areas where you could start at least and then expand. But trying to find something where you can do a variety of tasks in a period of time, as I'm looking at keeping the videos around that 30-minute mark, of finding something that'll fit that, where you can cover the ground, as like we're seeing here. I'm doing 2 episodes of planting corn, which then obviously is same thing over and over again for multiple episodes, so would get boring after a little while. So and it's looking like I guess I could have try and figure out a way to get a little more liquid fertilizer on this thing, but otherwise the rate it's going at isn't too bad. I probably would have been emptied by now without them, or it should say at least on the gauge there when the planter goes empty, but that has to be getting close to empty by now. So yes, I would say that getting those saddle tanks is worth the investment. So we did have an 8R, and we traded that off for this 8RT, just so we could get some types of tanks on it. We could have gone with the older 8R and gotten the 360 tanks, but decided we wanted this one for on the sugar beet lifter. And as we get going more here and start getting more and more crops sold and more money, it'll be easier to start getting more equipment and kind of what we want. Kind of thinking of going towards that, buying almost a 2 of everything kind of thing, so that way 2 of us can work at a time instead of going with the biggest of everything. Some stuff will be the biggest, but getting double stuff to speed things up for 2 of us to work on here. Because like right now, if we had a second planter going, then that way we'd be able to cover this field a lot faster, almost in half the time. If you double the equipment, you can cover the ground in almost half the time. I don't know if anybody wants to check my math on that one, but So, and then if you do want to see us spending more time on this map or longer periods of times, I do usually stream on Saturdays and Sundays on Twitch. Um, so can try and find us there too, and be able to watch. Usually stream for about 2-3 hours. So one of those things where you could watch that on this map and then be able to see more content as well too, as far as how much ground we'd be able to cover, and then also during those being in voice chat with the other guys. Didn't want to do it in here for the YouTube video yet, but may do that going forward as well too, depending on what we're doing. Especially when we get to harvest, there'll be other guys in here, but we need to have a talk too, because maybe they don't want to be on a YouTube video. So. One of those things where just playing it by ear, trying to get it going, and we'll see which direction we decide to head for videos moving forward. And knock on wood, we haven't had to sit through a sink this episode, so it just goes to show you that just the bad luck of the last episode of having to sit through two synchronizers, japers. Stumbling over my words here, but just goes to show you the just kind of weird luck to have two of them the last episode and none of them this episode. Well, yeah, so I've since episodes are about half an hour on two of them, it's taken about an hour to get that covered, so it's gonna take a few hours to get this covered. Might actually take me the rest of the day just to get this, and might not even get to the soybeans until tomorrow, or at least the fertilizing. But anyways, for now, try and get this cornfield knocked out, because that's what's gonna take the longest. And two, I might put the seeding the soybeans out and see if anybody's willing to do the work for me for a fee, pay them to get it done, so it gets done. As one of the nice things on the having a multiplayer server, or at least what we do, is if other guys are willing to help or have the time to be able to pay them to come help instead of just hitting that hired worker button. So most of the time they end up doing a better job. Sometimes they still end up wrapped around a tree. No, and as you can see here, the tank is empty on the planter, so if we didn't have those tanks on here, we'd already be filling up with liquid fertilizer, but hopefully should be able to get a couple more passes, or at least finish this off to the road here. But anyway, we're getting close to that time to call it an episode, so next one that I'll be making is, if I end up doing the soybeans, I'll make one for planting those. Otherwise, if it gets hired done, I won't. But otherwise, the next episode might be into harvesting already, to kind of get you guys an update for where we're at. But otherwise, until then, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, let me know what I can improve on, what I can do better. If you want to be notified when I've got more videos that come out, hit that subscribe button. and I will I'll put a link to our Discord in the description as well. That way, if you want to see when I go live on on Twitch, or if you just want to see what we're up to or when videos get posted. So all I can think of. So thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys watching the video, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks for stopping by.